Hello and welcome to my Bitcoin for Beginners tutorial. Now in this video tutorial I'm going to cover what Bitcoin is, how to mine it, and some tips and tricks that you can use to make more money mining Bitcoin. I just want to start off by saying if you want to skip the tutorial, everything that I'm going to talk about is in the video description and is labeled accordingly. So you can just click on the video description, download the mining software, click on the link to view a calculator and try and figure out how much money you'll make per week or per month and kind of just run with this stuff on your own. But if you want to watch the tutorial, let's begin. So the first thing that I want to touch on is what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is a new online digital currency. It's been around since about 2009, but just recently has gained a lot of popularity. And now today, one Bitcoin is worth $116. Now you might be asking yourself, well, I don't understand. Why is a Bitcoin worth so much? What is a Bitcoin? Now a Bitcoin really isn't anything. It doesn't represent anything other than a number. Now you might be wondering, well, how do I get a Bitcoin? You can get a Bitcoin a number of different ways. You can exchange your local currency, like US dollars, for example, or you can allow your computer to mine. And mining is a process essentially that just uses your computer to solve mathematical problems, and you are rewarded when you solve these problems with a service fee. And those service fees, while small, add up, especially depending on how fast your computer is. And now there are people out there that make hundreds and thousands of dollars mining Bitcoin. So you might say, well, I've heard that Bitcoin is a scam, or I've heard that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. Well, not really. Essentially what's happening here is that we're allowing the Bitcoin network, which is a Napster-like peer-to-peer network, to use our computer to process information. And so every time our computer is processing information, it's allowing the entire financial network to operate. So when people want to send and receive Bitcoins, they need computers to process that information in order to make that transaction. So just to give you an example, like Bank of America or Chase or Wells Fargo, all of these really big banks, they have skyscraper upon skyscraper of buildings and computers and servers to allow their entire financial network to run. So Bitcoin harnesses the internet and all of the computers on the internet in order to process all of these transactions. And that's why it's not a scam or a Ponzi scheme. Now, the price of a Bitcoin may be inflated, and by the time you watch this video, the price of a Bitcoin may be more than $116 or less than $116. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to show you is the Bitcoin wallet. Now, I'll provide the download link to download the Bitcoin wallet. Go ahead and download and install the Bitcoin wallet. I'll open it up for you just to show you what it looks like. It's already running, and here it is. It's a very, very simple program. It doesn't do much. Here's my overview. You can see I've received 3 transactions recently. And so once you download the Bitcoin wallet and run it, it will attempt to sync with the entire network, and you'll see a little progress bar down here at the bottom, and it will begin to sync. Now go ahead, leave it alone, let it sync. There's nothing that we're going to do with this right now, but we need it for later in the video tutorial. So after we download the Bitcoin wallet, we're going to have to download a miner program. Now there are a number of different mining programs out there, CG Miner, BF Miner. These require a little bit more background knowledge, and so I wouldn't recommend them for the beginner. So go ahead and download GUI Miner. You can find the download link in this video's description. Once you download GUI Miner, run the miner, and you will see something similar to this screen. Now you probably won't have all of these tabs, but all we need to do is click on File, New Miner, Open CL Miner, and we're going to give this new miner a name. So you can name this whatever you'd like. I'll call this Test Miner for Beginners. Great. And that will show us a screen similar to this, but we don't have a username and we don't have a password, and the server is the pool that we're going to join. And that brings me to my next point. Well, what's a pool? Well, a pool is basically a collective pool, a collective network of computers that are all working together to solve blocks of information to receive Bitcoin. Now, there are a number of different pools out there. This is a really good chart of the pools that are currently available. BTC Guild is the largest pool, followed by, I believe, Bitminter and 50BTC, which are looks like they're equal at 16%. I'm going to show you Slush's pool, and the reason why I'm going to show you Slush's pool is because I've had really good success with Slush's pool. I've tried Elugis, which just wasn't working out for me. I wasn't really making much progress. BTC Guild, for some reason, I was making zero progress. I'm not sure if I had everything set up correctly. Bitminter is pretty popular. DeepBit is popular, but I'm going to show you Slush pool. So the first thing that we need to do now is join a pool. So to join Slush pool, we're going to type in this website here, mining.bitcoin.cz, and that'll bring you to just Slush's pool's main website. We can click here to sign up. It's totally free. All you need is an email. You create a password. Once you create an account, you'll be brought to a screen right here. Now you can see here, Bitcoin address. That is something that we're going to get from our wallet. So let's go back to our Bitcoin wallet and let's go click on receive coins, and we're going to click on new address, and we're going to give that new address a label. So I'll give that, let's see, Slush pool for beginners address. So once I do that, you can see it pops up here in this list, and what I want to do is right click, copy that address, the string of code right here, and I'm just going to paste it right here. I'm just going to paste that address there. And so we're going to keep the send threshold at 0.01. These are just some statistics that will show you basically where you're at in mining. We're going to save these settings. Now we need to create a worker. So we've already figured out how we're going to get paid. Now we need to create a worker. And this is kind of like a login and password information. So we're going to register a new worker, and we're going to give this worker a name. It can be anything that you want. I'll just type in beginner. I'm going to give it a password. I suggest just something simple. 123 will work. Leave everything else the same. Click on save. And you'll see here that it will create your worker. Now, this is what we need to copy. Copy, go back to our miner, and now we're going to paste the worker username. See, I'm under that miner that I just created. I'm going to paste the username. The password was 123, and the server is the pool. And so you can see there are a bunch of pools, but I'm showing you Slush's pool. So I'll select Slush's pool. And next to device, this is where we can see which device we'll be using. We have my Intel i7 processor, and then we also have our graphics card processor. You want to select your graphics card processor. That's about 100 times faster than just your standard computer's CPU. CPU affinity, I'm just going to keep that at 0, and all we need to do is click this button. Boom, start mining. Now we're going to also click on View, Show Summary, and that's going to actually show us a nice little summary of all of the activity in our mining program and all of our workers that are mining. So you can see here, test miner for beginners. I have it mining. The only reason why it's only at 2.1 is because I'm already using all of my CPU power in my previous miner. So I'm just going to stop that. And so you can see here I'm mining at 131 mega hashes per second. And I've only started this up within the last 5 minutes. I'm already up to 110 shares that have been accepted, and I have 0 stales. Now this number here, this column, what this represents is a count of the number of times that you were given a bit of information for your computer to solve, and your computer solved it and sent in the answer, and your answer was confirmed as correct and accepted. And so